I'll be stranger, outlaws, bandits. Today I'm bringing you three stories about loneliness and depression. Hope to hear your opinions in the comments. As always, see you on the other side.
Anyone out there? Content warning. Thoughts, self-harm. I am 22-year-old male and I feel like I have never had a connection with another human being. I feel so invisible. I just want someone to know that I exist.
Well, stranger, I'm sorry for the circumstances that you're going through right now. It is a difficult one because I'm guessing that you're just coming out of school at the age of 22. To be fair, I think you have a few connections, regardless if it's family, if it's friends. I always keep going back to family in all of my videos, but in hindsight, family is all you have at the end of the day. If you can't really rely on them, who are you going to rely on? I get that circumstances not always are right, even in family situations, but if you limit yourself with you can't make a connection and you feel invisible, I get that. Right now, even I'm going through a rough patch in life for the last year ish. But if you're not gonna um, take your life into your own hands, then nobody else is going to do that. So socialize. I don't know what your hobbies are. Find people around those areas. So if you're into gaming, make some online friends. Even that's something because certain times um, you find people in unexpected places. Let's say you like going to gigs, which, in all honesty, I doubt because of the way you were speaking and because of your story. If you already put negative thoughts in your head, I get everybody's going through a lot of rough patches, but you need to open up. You need to seek out those connections with other people. You need to seek out those experiences. From what I'm getting from your story is basically that you barricaded yourself into your own mind. And from there, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get out. That's why I always suggest training, regardless if it's gym, regardless if it's a sport activity like you play basketball, football, baseball, whatever, ping pong, swimming. So things are endless, but to keep a healthy mind, you need to have a healthy body as well. So sports and hard, strenuous physical activities, I will always support everybody to do, even 60, 70-year-olds. Not with that intensity as someone in their 20s, 30s, 40s, but it helps the mind to release some stress. For me, it's a coping mechanism. Gym really helped me through a lot, and I do mean a lot. There was a time in the past year where I felt like gym is my only safe haven. Like whenever I was with friends, acquaintances, or just out and about, I didn't feel necessarily good in most situations. But when I was at gym, when I had the opportunity to lift heavy, it felt good. It felt like a release. But when I left, reality smacked me right in the face again. Like, hey boy, nah, 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 you ain't there yet, my friend. So physical activity, eating healthy, stay away from junk food. That's not what you need right now. Stay away from sweets or any snacks. That's not what you need right now. Go out in nature if you can. And I would highly recommend, even if it's just like a park walk or or going to like a forest or just even early morning when everything is calm, no noise, peaceful, just take a stroll around the neighborhood and make sure to do it every day. Within, let's say, half a year, you're going to see some significant results. First and foremost, you need to put yourself in a better place. There's a saying, you need to love yourself before you love somebody else. Not just in a relationship, but in friendships as well. If you don't respect yourself, if you don't love yourself, you're incapable of actually loving somebody else correctly. At a certain point, even friends will be like, okay, you're dumping too much trauma on me. Happened, unfortunately. I lost one or two friends because of this. But you need to first put yourself first. Okay, that came out right and wrong, but you get the idea. Put yourself first and fix yourself first. Find the thing that you're passionate about, even if it's work. Don't get me wrong, even if it's work, put your effort into it. If you do something that you're passionate about and you love, eventually your mind is going to get tricked that you are in a better place. You can do stuff. You can move forward with things. But this destructive self-pity is not a good road to be on. I get you feel like everything is against you, but the negative thoughts will bring more negative reality in the future. So first and foremost, try to change this up here. Once that's done, I swear you will get better. If in the meantime, I'm hoping that you one day find this video and write to me that, okay, I changed my life, I'm in a much better place. I'm looking forward to that. You have all of my contacts in the description. So if you need somebody to talk to, just shout. I'm more than happy to have a light discussion about it.
How did you stop self-sabotaging behaviors in relationships? Other than the obvious, I just did it, but how did you let go of your traumas and learn to stop letting it affect you and how you treat others?
Well, stranger, when I heard your story, I was smiling a little bit underneath my mask because it's a fun little coincidence that the previous story and this one has relevance to each other. I usually pick stories at random without looking too much into them. But this was just an interesting coincidence. So, going back to a little bit of seriousness, you need to first and foremost deal with your traumas inside of you. So, you need to identify those issues that prevent you from moving on into a new healthy relationship. Right now, I don't really know if you mean relationships as with a partner or relationships just all together in general. But let's try to approach it from like a partner point of view. So we as humans tend to develop habits that follow us. If we stay blind to these habits, not everybody will tolerate them. So let's say a simple example. Let's say one of the people in the partnership smokes, but the other one doesn't. And the other one can't really tolerate it or won't really tolerate it, but everything else clicks. Eventually, it depends basically on two people. A relationship is basically revolving around two people. So if one wants to do something, the other one don't or doesn't, it's just a compromise. Can you guys go into that compromisation period? If we are approaching it from a trauma point, then first identify your traumas. So sit down and really think about what's bothering you or what are the things that you believe can affect a new healthy relationship. And this should be paramount for everybody, not just you. So once you already have those answers, let's say neediness or clinginess, um, oversharing, trauma dumping, regardless of what it can be, find out and try to at least get a control over it. If you let everything roam wild, then not everybody will tolerate that and not everybody will accept that behavior. But again, a relationship revolves around two people to make it work, not just one person. If one's putting in too much effort or more effort than the other one, eventually the tank is going to run out. So, just as a side note, identify your traumas, see what effects do they have on you, and work on them. Don't rush into a relationship. If you feel like there are still some baggages from previous relationship, your life, how it panned out, then deal with those first and say, okay, I need to let these things go. It's it's basically a simple answer, but it's really hard. Letting things go is extremely hard. So things shape us into the people we are. It's really hard to get out of a situation that you're used to. That's why multiple relationships fail, because of easy example, the toxicity thing. So if somebody grew up in a toxic environment, then they don't really know anything else. And if they meet somebody that's completely good with them, nice, provides them with everything, may that be a female or male, then it's going to be a foreign concept. So first you need to deal with it. You actually need to sit down and deal with these things. Ask for help. We are human. We need help as well. We need sometimes to just let it out and just speak with people. May that be a friend, family, professional, whatever. Eventually, things get too much. If we play on them, then it's going to further affect us in the future. So, how to deal with it? Sit down and identify them. And tell yourself how to make it better. And practice. And I'm not saying to practice like go to relationship. No. Practice first sorting that thing out that bothers you. Or you would feel like it's something that the other person would not tolerate over time. Hope it helps.
My mom can't get over her ex, and it's killing me. Help me please. Need support. I really need some advice, RN, so I hope some of you can help me. Folded hands, light skin tone. I, 18F, have a mom, 45F, that's grieving the loss of a relationship that ended a year ago. To make a long story short, her ex couldn't get along with my younger brother, 15M, and instead of her taking her boyfriend's side, she took my brother's. They tried to make it work after a big fight between him and Lil Bro, but he ended up leaving quite suddenly. Since then my mom has been heartbroken. She feels guilty for putting him second, and other stuff I don't even remember. Also, my bro was being a spoiled asshole, so that's why she feels like she made a mistake. Today she heard from a friend that he is dating someone else, and she is again butthurt. I always respected her feelings, gave her advice and a change in perspective, but nothing works. It doesn't matter how many people tell her the same things. Every time his name comes up, she'll start to cry, literally. I can't take this anymore. She won't get professional help. What can I do to make this house a happy place again? I don't like dwelling in this negative energy every single day. Sorry for any grammar mistakes, English isn't my first language.
Well, stranger, you seem to be in a tricky situation. I get where your mom is coming from because at the age of 45, it's extremely hard to find a partner that's willing to stand by your side. It might sound a little bit rude, I know, but it's just the unfortunate reality. On one hand, I appreciate what your mom did, that even though she had a partner, and despite your brother being a brat, she still was on the side of your brother, which I still absolutely appreciate it. Family should still stick together. However, on the flip side, if your little bro is being entitled, then firstly, you need to deal with that behavior. Because if that stays, then it's going to be unfortunate, but maybe new suitors will have a hard time dealing with it. I don't know if your dad is still in the picture, but it would be beneficial to at least start there to let your dad know that your little bro is acting how he shouldn't really be acting. On the flip side, I can understand your mom's distraught because if the grieving period lasts for this long, then I don't know how long they've been together prior the incident, but it seems like he meant a lot to your mom. Now, I don't know if this was just a fling or was it something serious, but judging about of her reaction for her, it was serious. That's why she's a little bit disappointed and sad that the guy already is dating somebody else. But you can't really control what's going to happen in somebody else's life. You need to make her realize that. So it's it's hard to approach from because from both sides there are positives and negatives. I still appreciate your mom acting like a mama bear and protecting her cub, but on the flip side, because of her cub, she might have lost somebody that was important to her. The issue here is I don't necessarily think that your mom is going to get the guy back. Just being honest and upfront with it. So she really needs to either let things go and not dwell on it, which is, again, easier said than done. But she needs to realize that you guys are going to get the brunt of it. So your little brother and you are going to suffer from it. Try to approach it from a different angle. Um, Tell your mom about what issues this habit is bringing up to you guys. It's not gonna be easy, and since you mentioned that the grieving period is going on for a year now, then there's something deeply rooted in her that prevents her from moving on, which is the sad reality. So getting her out of this mindset is crucial. It's going to be hard, and it is hard. Um, but try approaching it from different perspectives. First and foremost, try approaching it and be blunt. And this, after a year, you need to be blunt. So there's no sugarcoating stuff. There's no just walking around it. You need to be blunt and say, Mom, listen, it's gotten to a point where it's starting to affect us. We care for you, whatever it may be, but you need to snap out of this. Either get your brother to lose this attitude, this entitled attitude, or you need to get back into the headspace of finding somebody new for yourself. I know multiple people must have already said this, but logically and rationally, this is the only thing that pops into mind. If you ever see this video, please reach out because I'm curious to find out how it panned out for you. but wish you the best of luck.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode, stranger. If you did, consider joining our band of outlaws and bandits. About time I ride off. It seems like they are gaining some ground on me. Until the next time, stranger, try to keep yourself out of trouble.